I lay on the hospital bed, sterile lights glaring down, monitors ticking. My heart wasn't the only thing faltering. My dignity had collapsed first. She stormed in like a verdict. My wife, shoulder high, heels clicking with that familiar arrogance. She glanced at the doctor, her lips curling. "I won't pay for a broken husband. I'm not throwing good money after bad," she said, sharp and casual, like tossing trash into the bin. Her words hung in the air, heavier than any drip. I stared at the ceiling, silent. Every eye in the room, the nurse, the receptionist, even that young med student felt the sting, felt the shame radiating off me. I could hear whispers behind clipped hands. Judgment, pity, disgust folded into one, and then she left. Click. Door sealed. My life was in the hands of strangers, while she walked out with her conscience intact, or so she thought. 3 days later she came back, not for me, not for remorse, for her watch. She froze at the door. That moment is coming. But first, everything that led me there. We met in a bookstore of all places, dust motes floating in sunlight, a quiet sanctuary. She laughed at my terrible pun about Kafka. Remember thinking she saw me, not the surface, the invisible layers. I trusted her immediately. Maybe too much. We shared secrets over coffee, Sunday mornings, and late-night walks. I built her a small library in our apartment. Every book a bridge to her heart. She gave me her smile, her warmth, and for a while I believed in the future we could craft together. There was love, real and consuming, but light fades, doesn't it? Slowly at first, a glance that lingers too long on her phone. A canceled dinner, just work. Little fractures I ignored because love is stubbornly forgiving. I ignored the first cracks. She began locking drawers. Her phone always angled away. There were new friends I never met. Always texts she deleted before sleep. I noticed quietly. I never confronted, I observed. That's how you learn who someone really is, by watching the spaces between their words. By listening to the silences that scream louder than speech. Her laughter sometimes didn't reach her eyes. Her apologies were rehearsed, precise. I kept notes, mental files, small betrayals add up. Then one night, I found the bank statements. I didn't need more proof. I felt the coldness creep in, a deliberate frost settling over my mind. It wasn't enough that she refused to pay for my surgery. That was merely the tip. I discovered she had siphoned off joint investments, hidden accounts, expensive gifts she claimed were for the house. She had cut me off financially, emotionally, publicly. I remember sitting on the floor of our bedroom. Papers spread like confetti of deceit. My chest burned, hands shook, nausea clawed at my throat. The betrayal was physical, but in that chaos a switch flipped. Pain became strategy. Rage became calculation. My pulse slowed as my mind sharpened. She thought she'd broken me. She had no idea she'd only sharpened the blade I was about to wield. Weeks became months, every move deliberate. I traced her accounts. I leveraged minor legal oversights she left exposed. I regained control of investments in ways she'd never predict. I recorded conversations. I documented transactions. I met with lawyers, quietly setting up contingencies, ensuring her empire would crumble without a sound from me. I became a ghost in my own house, silent, patient, watching. Every word she spoke, every arrogant laugh, every little display of power fuel. I watched her confidence swell, never knowing it would be the same tide that drowned her. The day arrived like a whisper. She came back for her watch, expecting indifference, expecting me weak. I stood in the living room, calm, hands folded, the very picture of composure. Looking for this, I said, holding her watch on the palm of my hand. She froze, her posture rigid. Then I spoke quietly, precisely. I took care of our finances while you were busy. Her face twisted, confusion first, then panic as I detailed the transfers, the hidden liens, the legal traps she'd ignored. Properties she thought were hers outright frozen. Accounts she spent recklessly gutted. Her knees went weak. She gripped the doorframe like a lifeline, her voice caught. This isn't possible, I let it sit. The silence was deafening. I watched as her empire, carefully constructed arrogance, dissolved in real time. Not with a scream, not with fire, just with law, facts, and patience. She had assumed power without thought. I assumed silence without mercy. Her eyes, filled with disbelief, the kind that scratches your soul. And finally, she understood the broken husband she had mocked had engineered her downfall quietly, masterfully. She left the house that day, watch on rest, or what was left of it. She didn't look back. I didn't call her. I didn't need to. I walked to the library I'd built years ago, the one with sunlight slanting across the dust mows. I touched a book, felt the weight of my decisions, my patience, my quiet vengeance. There was power in silence, there was peace and patience. I had survived betrayal, not just endured it but transformed it into precision justice. The watch remained on the counter, a frozen symbol of arrogance meeting consequence. I smiled, not joyfully, not vindictively, but with the calm of a man who had reclaimed himself. Some things can't be bought. Some betrayals demand mastery, and some doors once closed remain shut forever. I closed mine.